Hello ladies and gentlemen, Leo here. Today I'm going to share with you a quick video on how to grow your Bitcoin. Pretty plain and simple. I'm going to go fast because I want to make sure I get through this as quickly as possible and hang around to the end so that you can make sure you can get every little tip on how to do so. Okay, so pretty plain and simple. You're trying to grow your Bitcoin. There's only three strategies: acquire and hold. You take your fiat currency, you go to an exchange, you pay dollars or whatever currency you have for Bitcoin, put it in your wallet, let that grow in quantity and grow in value. Now, obviously, that's speculation as to how much it will continue to grow. That'll be up to you to do that homework, and that's part of the risk factor you got to take into account. The second method that I've seen very popular is for people to provide a service. For that service, be willing to receive Bitcoin and accumulate that Bitcoin, therefore growing the Bitcoin, and also they're giving the second benefit, which is when it goes up in price, then that's valued even more. Okay, that's strategy number one. Strategy number two, Bitcoin through mining. Pretty plain and simple. You have Bitcoin from one person, you're trying to get it to the other person, so it's got to go through a network of verification, and then it ends up on the other wallet. So think of it sort of like mining for gold. If you were working at a mine and you were mining gold, and at the end of the day, for that mining, you are paid a little bit of gold for mining it. That's kind of how you can think of this. You get paid a little bit of Bitcoin for verifying transactions. That's mining. Now the risks in this one is it's just as good as long as mining is profitable. And number two, you want to go with a reputable company. So you definitely want to make sure that you do your homework or contact the person who shared this video with you, as I'm sure they will already have some methods in which they trust. And if you don't have anybody, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to share. The third method is pretty plain and simple. It's trading. You take your Bitcoin and you're trading it for something. You're either trading it, you're buying it at a low price, selling it at a high price. That's one. The other one, you can take your cryptocurrency, buy another type of cryptocurrency. A lot of times they're called altcoins, and wait for those to go up in price, and then again sell them off again, where you end up making a profit, and then you can turn them back into either fiat currency or back into Bitcoin. And then from there, obviously, if you do Bitcoin, then it goes back in there. Now from here, it's important to mention two things. Number one, you can either do the trading yourself, or you can do it, or have somebody else, another group, individuals, etc., do the trading for you. Now I consider this category a high risk category. It doesn't matter whether somebody else does the trading or you do, because the markets are naturally volatile, and you're going to be playing the game of making sure that you have good data, that you follow the markets, that you figure that out, that you know how to do it, that you know when to buy, when to sell, and so forth. So naturally, innately, it is a risky category. So you want to take that into account when you're going into this. So definitely go back to the person who shared this video with you and say, hey, which ones do you trust? Have you been paid? How much are you getting paid? And a bunch of different questions that we'll touch on shortly. Okay, but this is the third category. So I've given you all three strategies. Now, what are some important considerations? Number one is, what kind of value is that coin bringing into the market? Bitcoin, I believe, is bringing in a lot of value into the market because people are able to actually use it in exchange for services, and that's where the value lies. So other cryptocurrencies are bringing other values into the market, so you want to keep that in mind. Okay, what kind of value is that creating? Number two, trust. Do I trust this company? Do I trust these individuals? Do I trust that they're paying out? Do I trust that they're going to be around for a while? Do I trust that they're actually doing the trading? Do I trust that mining is actually happen? Trust, 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 trust. Now, not every single one may be checked off for every single opportunity that you look at, but this is where the later comments are going to come in versus risk versus reward. But the third category here to consider is the what's it called? The longevity or the sustainability of that program, whatever that may be. Because if it's going to be something that's going to be short-lived, you want to take that into account. Because it might pay higher yields, but it may be short-lived. If you want something that's at a long term, you want to keep that into account. So whenever you go back to that person and say, hey, what programs are you in? I'm interested in the long-term ones. Maybe they're paying out a little bit less, but I'm willing to go the long haul. Or if it's somebody I want to be more aggressive on, I want to grow it now, I'm willing to take more risk, then that's something to consider. Which brings us to the important point of risk versus reward. Your risk versus your reward, you want to take that into account. Maybe not every single check mark is checked off, but you want to make sure that at least enough of them are checked off for the amount of risk that you're taking and the reward that you'll be getting in return. Okay? So my personal risk assessment, and I have to put this disclaimer that this is for education and entertainment purposes only. It's not in any way interpreted as advice of any sort. Do your own due diligence, take responsible action. There are no guarantees in any type of program or investment. that you may lose your entire principal. Our goal here is to educate and help people understand more about the industry. So that's why I'm not mentioning any programs. There's low risk, there's medium risk, and high risk. And I talked about that briefly. The low ones are, to me, in my opinion, the ones where you're changing currency for Bitcoin with the belief that it's going to continue to go up to a certain point, and then it'll level off, and receiving payment of Bitcoin for services. The second would be mining, and to me that's because one, how long is it profitable for, and number two, is a company reputable? Are they actually doing the mining? Because there's a lot of scams out there. Okay. And the third, and the highest one in my book, is trading, because it's like playing the markets. You're trying to figure out when's a good time to buy, sell, which group to go with. The promise of returns are really high, but at the same time, the higher the return is usually the higher the risk. Okay. So what's next? From here, you got to get familiar with Bitcoin. If you haven't got a wallet, go get one. Get Bitcoin. Get a debit card in some way which you can actually convert your Bitcoin back into currency. Decide how you want to start growing it. Is it going to be buy and hold? Is it going to be mining? Is it going to be trading? My favorite is to diversify. Diversification, and use it in your daily life. So when you do that, then you'll be able to get more familiar with it. And if you want additional help, please go back to the person who shared this with you. It's the ethical thing to do. And also, if you have nobody or you want additional input, feel free to come back and we'll be happy to help you with that. Okay? Don't miss the boat. I missed it. 2009, I was going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. Didn't. That would have been worth approximately $25 million today. Which is a perfect segue into this little thing that I found, which is Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, invited 5 people to his Harvard room 9 years ago to discuss a business opportunity. Only 2 people showed up, and they got in. Today, those are billionaires. Dustin Rockovitz, $6.5 billion. Eduardo Saverin, $3.4 billion. So there's nothing more expensive than a closed mind and a missed opportunity. Thinking about it for too long can cost you a whole lot of money and time. Taking action now in whatever you choose to do will earn you a whole lot. It is your choice. It is your life. It's up to you to make a decision of what you want to do with it. So on that note, I wish you the best in growing your Bitcoin and your current cryptocurrencies. There's some free resources at bodymindsuccess.com/Bitcoin. And again, if you like this video, like it, comment, share it, and go back to the person who shared this with you. Or if not, there'll be information below this video for you to be in contact with us. Have an amazing day. Take care.